Hi guys, welcome to Style and Direction, a podcast about classic menswear but without the stuffiness. I'm your host Ethan Wong,
I'm Spencer Oddie.
and we're
Oh,
yep.
I'm so sorry.
We have a
it's totally
friend
okay.
here.
We've got a friend with us. We've got Blake Buell. You guys have probably seen him on my Instagram, on countless blog posts. Posts? Did I say posts?
You did say Plost.
Oh well,
It's like Jeff Probst.
Jeff Probst. Yep, the greatest
Who hosts Survivor.
greatest event in
Hollywood
Hollywood
history.
history. Anyway, we're joined by our friend Blake here, who is a fellow vintage enthusiast. So say hi,
Hi.
Blake.
Hi.
No, the
Yeah,
joke is
yep,
you're
that's-
supposed to say hi Blake. That's the joke.
Hi,
supposed to
Blake.
say yes,
yeah, that's
and.
the
You
joke.
did the joke. That's really funny.
We did.
Oh my goodness,
This
that's
is
so
the
funny.
best and the funniest podcast ever.
Uh-huh.
So
Jeez.
anyway, today we're going to be talking about Dapper Day. It just passed a few days ago, which we all went to. Blake joined us for the expo, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Great
is
response.
exciting.
Great response. And I guess for those of you who don't know what Dapper Day is, it's basically an opportunity to step out into the Disneyland parks in style.
Are you just reading their copy right now?
I am definitely no, I'm not. I just memorized it because we literally had to do a video for them, where I had to
Mhm.
say the exact copy. So it's been stuck in my head.
Yep.
Nice.
But they celebrate the styles of yesterday and today. And Spencer and I have gone how many times now? At least like
it's been a long time.
I
I've been
think-
going since like freshman or sophomore year, something like that.
and you're my brother's grade, so we started probably going at the same time. And then we
Yeah, I
didn't
think
become
we-
friends until like 2 years after that, I think.
Uh-huh. Something like that.
And now
I've been going. Oh, sorry. I've been going since like 2 years ago in fall, and that's. Yeah.
did you actually go into like
Mhm.
the parks?
Yeah. I went to the parks, and then I went to the expo because I was like, "What? There's an expo?" And
Yeah, how
Well,
long
so-
have they been doing the expo?
I think it's about Blake's right. It's about 2 years now.
Mhm.
was that the first
So-
one?
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
Hmm.
so again, for those of you who don't know about what that is, Dapper Day started to do an expo, which is kind of like a convention, live event kind of thing. They have live music. It's basically kind of a place to hang out outside of the park, and also for people who don't want to buy a ticket to Disneyland or
Because it keeps getting more expensive.
yeah, I think when like Spencer first started going, like it was like $80, I think, for like the discount
It's
ticket, and now it's
110
like
now.
110.
Yeah.
120. So, but it's a fun event, and for me at least, it's what got me into vintage.
Me too.
Oh, no, Blake too. Oh, but
Whoa.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Wait, is Spencer the cool guy who is just always
I'm
been
the
into it?
cool guy who was into vintage
Captain Cool.
already.
Captain
Cool.
Captain Kidd. That's a restaurant I think outside of Disneyland.
It's
Captain
also
Kidd's
a pirate.
Yeah.
Lesser known fact for the pirate thing, but I know him as the food thing.
Okay.
But it's really fun. I mean, I think I probably brought up to Spencer when we first met. Like, hey, have you gone to Dapper Day? And Spencer was like, hell yeah. And I'm like, sick. Or something
And
like that.
that was it.
That was it. That was our first ever conversation.
It was a shitty one, but
Yeah. But I mean, so basically we get to go because it's one of the few events that we get to dress up in vintage out in public, I guess. I mean, we do dress up in vintage like on our own, but we do see it as like our form of like pity, I guess.
it's like kind of peacocking. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, peacocking, exactly, because guys go to Pity Umo, which is one of the biggest or the only menswear trade show. And guys go there specifically to peacock, and so we do the exact same thing at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And then we get-
use Dapper Day like specifically to wear my loudest clothes that I can't get away with wearing anywhere else.
And then we get a bunch of tourists asking us what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty famous for like the past, I think, like 5 years, 5 or 6
Yeah.
years, and I'm
But I
surprised
think that's
that people
also
still
only if
don't
you, like,
know.
Yeah, it's famous if you if you live around Disneyland and go to Disneyland frequently and know all the weird events that happen.
I think like by now
Because-
the staff are like, oh man, it's Dapper
Oh, they
Day."
definitely know. We should also point out that if we haven't already, that it's not an official Dapper Day event. It's
Oh,
an
yeah.
independent thing. Or Disneyland event.
Yeah, yeah.
My
Oh, yeah,
bad.
I should say that
It is an
now.
official Dapper Day
So-
event, but
Yeah, because it's put on by Dapper. So Dapper Day is technically an organization. They started out by doing I guess the event at Disneyland, and then they expanded to Walt Disney World as well. And then they started doing the expo. Then they did Folly, which I don't think they do anymore. But it's like before the expo, it was like, oh, let's all go to the French restaurant where they have like a dancing section, and then, you have drinks, you have a live band, which has kind of been transferred to the expo. But they started doing that, and Spencer and I, over the summer, we went to the Dapper Day X LACMA event, which I think they're starting to do that now, again during the summer, because there is no Disneyland at Dapper Day event during the summer. But yeah, they're an independent organization that just, I guess, they celebrate style of yesterday and today in different areas of Los Angeles, I guess.
Yep. Southern California.
It's cool because I think that I've written
Florida.
in my blog. What was that, Blake?
I said and Florida.
And Florida,
And
yeah.
I think basically all the parks, right?
Yeah,
They do
but
something?
but more of the independent stuff, like at least the LACMA thing happens in LA. So I'm guessing they're starting to branch out, because I'm pretty sure Justin, the creator of Dapper Day, lives in LA. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest. I don't even know if he
He's a
listens to this
mystery man.
podcast. So
Probably not.
we should actually get him on here at some point, because I think that'd be an interesting
that would be fun.
thing. Anyway, so they're an independent organization. There is a distinction between Disneyland and Dapper Day because, Dapper Day people have to pay regular Disney prices. Dapper Day has to pay for renting out the space for the expo and stuff like that. And I don't know how much we can talk about the little drama that happens behind Dapper Day and Disneyland. So I probably won't say too much about that.
Probably not much. Yeah.
But I will say that, at least in terms of the style, it's definitely an issue, because I think, cosplay has kind of started to take over Dapper Day. And I guess we can talk about the style at this point of the podcast.
Yeah, because right now, I am scrolling through an Orange County Register slideshow that's like pictures of Dapper Day, and it's like, ladies, you're killing it. And the dudes are like, okay, I got a pair of clip-on suspenders, I got a bow tie, it's done.
Right,
like
so
solid.
There definitely is a Dapper Day uniform.
Yeah.
And if you guys just simply look up Dapper Day, just in Google Images or something, you'll see that ladies, they typically do. They're dressed pretty well, and if there is a basic women's uniform, it's probably like a polka dot dress or something like that, which is still nice. But then guys, they just wear like clip-on suspenders, a bow tie, which is probably clip-on too, some sort of colored shirt to maybe match the girl's dress or something, and jeans, chinos, and probably sneakers. Now, I will say that you are going to Disneyland. You're gonna walk around a lot.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
So I mean,
you want to be comfortable.
Them. Yeah, you want to be comfortable. But I mean, we could argue that wearing Palm Beach cloth, or linen, or some really drapey gabardine or chino is probably super comfortable too. I mean, that's just it's just a proven fact, I think, because
a lot of guys can have. So.
Yeah, but I mean, so the guy's style really just suffers at Dapper Day, and this is my personal point of view. I think we talked about this a long time ago when we first were trying to record the podcast. Like,
oh boy, yeah, we did our
ago.
Test episode that will probably never see the light of day.
Nope, I don't think we even have the recording of that.
I still have. Actually, I think I have it on a flash drive. I was just looking at a flash drive.
Shoot.
So
well, lost episodes. Once you go through the paywall. Just kidding.
It's the creepypasta lost episode where our eyes are hyper realistic and dripping with blood, and Squidward kills himself.
Jesus.
Excuse me?
Yep.
But anyway, I think my issue with Dapper Day, with that particular style, is that it insinuates that dressing up is a costume in itself. So I think when Spencer and I were walking this past Dapper Day, someone actually told me, like, you guys look great in your costume. And I'm like, I'm wearing a suit. Like, I get it. I mean, it's a vintage suit, but, like, it's still a suit, right? Like,
yeah. And I mean, another part of it is, and it's like another part of it, and like why the guys for the most part all wear the same thing is, like, we live in Southern California, which is like hell. It's hell, period,
right.
for dressing up. And so it's like, one, a lot of the guys probably do not own much formal wear, and two,
Right.
it's like they do not know how to be comfortable in it. So
Okay, but so here's my. Again, I don't want to come off as condescending because I definitely. This is a podcast without the stuffiness, right?
mm-hmm.
I know, and Spencer and I don't want to call anybody out or say anything, but when it's Dapper Day, it's supposed to be a celebration of style.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cosplay. It's not supposed to be. I mean, you can be Disney, whatever, but my thing is like you wouldn't wear this to like a job interview, or
Mm-hmm.
and I hate that like comparison, but
Yeah, because it's like
like
also I wouldn't say that a job interview is like that's where you show off your style.
right,
That's
or
not the
I guess maybe
situation
like a
here.
Is that the
wedding or
only
something.
context?
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
the
Like,
only
yeah,
context most guys have for dressing up probably in
like-
Southern California.
but I'm okay. Like, would you wear it like on a date or something? And again, I
Mhm.
hate saying that too. I realize the irony of that because we do dress pretty flamboyantly for young 20-year-old guys,
Mm-hmm.
and which a normal guy probably wouldn't wear that. But I'm also thinking that a normal guy also wouldn't wear like a pink shirt with white clip-on suspenders to any type of like formal event per se. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my issue with it. Like, it's not even about celebrating style. It's about just putting on that uniform, and and it's not creative, And
Yeah.
and then you see girls out there, women, who do cosplay, which I've seen. I'm friends with some people who go to Disneyland, and they even have a problem with it. But I still think that's kind of cool. Like, you might wear a wig or something, but the dresses are very, they're beautifully designed. They're immaculately, put together and everything. And then you just get a guy who's just wearing like ill-fitting clothes, and yeah, that's another part. It doesn't even fit right. Like, come on.
Hey, really, really, really quick. Should we
Yeah.
explain so we can stop saying cosplaying? Should we explain the concept
Oh
of
yeah, of
Disney bounding
right?
if we
right,
hadn't
right.
already? Because
So-
there's a distinction. So
Right, exactly. So, Disney bounding is something that was started by Leslie Kay, I think is her name. It started as like those, like you put like those like blank white images and you just put like random clothes over the internet, like you style like an imaginary doll or something. But it's basically how to dress as a Disney character without cosplaying. And they started that because you can't wear costumes to Disneyland. So like if you want to be Mickey Mouse and you don't want to wear a mouse, suit, you would wear like a black button up or black t-shirt and like red chinos or red jeans or something. Like that's Mickey Mouse symbol. Or if you wanted to be, and I did see this, if you wanted to be Woody on Dapper Day, you would wear like a yellow button-up shirt, a red bow tie, cow print suspenders, and
Oh,
like
boy.
blue chinos, and that's Dapper bounding. So it's again it's regular clothes, so it's Disney bounding, but you're making it with the biggest quotation marks ever, Dapper.
yep.
And
Oh
and so
man,
we-
okay. So I've googled Dapper Day, and I'm looking at the images right now,
Mhm.
and this isn't really worthy of like much discussion. I just love this image.
Right.
It is a guy. It is a Johnny Depp, like Jack Sparrow impersonator. It might be Ronnie Rodriguez, who has appeared on Tim and Eric and Nathan For You, which is how I know him, and he's just wearing like a vest and a tie, but he's got like all the Jack Sparrow stuff up top. So it's
Dapper
fun.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, a very dapper Jack Sparrow with his
Lord
sleeves too
in
long.
heaven. But I mean that's kind of the issue now, right? Like, I mean there is nothing wrong with Disney bounding. Like I've done it, before, but for Dapper
It's like,
Day,
yeah, that's
I mean,
that's a good way to kind of get creative with it. Like,
right. Yeah, I think we're not. Okay, we're not gonna say that Disney bounding or Dapper bounding in its sense is inherently wrong, but I think people are going about it the wrong way.
mm-hmm.
Like, you're not gonna wear cow print suspenders ever again.
Nope.
Like I feel like Blake is, he's been getting into like German workwear. I feel like he could do like a workwear Woody and look like totally presentable.
Yeah.
Like you
and
could wear like a
like-
yellow plaid sport shirt or something with jeans tucked in or something,
Yeah, I know Woody wears like a window pane shirt. It's a red window pane on his shirt, and I don't know.
But I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is, you could
Yeah.
probably do it, like, and
Yeah,
not
like-
make it look like It's not even a
Too
costume. It's just it's well, it's not even like the Dapper bounding isn't even a costume. It's basically
you're doing the same color story as the
yeah,
character?
exactly. I think that's
Yeah.
it. Like it's like okay, we're gonna pick the biggest colors in this outfit and we're gonna do it. Like
Mhm.
like Spencer and I think that one of the best dressed Disney characters is Roger Radcliffe. Like and it's
I thought you were gonna say Roger Rabbit for a second.
I thought so,
yeah,
too.
it's Roger Rabbit.
Just a
And
big
some people
yellow bow
actually
tie and
do
that's
that.
it.
You know, they do the yellow bow tie with like a white shirt and red pants.
Uh-huh.
You know, but I mean Roger Radcliffe. I mean, yeah, it might be cheating. He's a human. You know, it's set in like like the 50s or 60s or something, or
Yeah.
30s even, and it's just a fucking look. Like it's like a white
con-
shirt with a brown sweater vest, like green chinos, and like a brown
Con-
coat and a fedora.
Context for the viewers and for me too. Who is this?
Oh, he's
Oh,
101
yeah.
Dalmatians,
Yeah,
man.
he's the
Right,
doggy
right.
daddy in
There
101
you go.
Doggy
Dalmatians.
Daddy. Gross.
Oh man, we are balls deep in. Nope, we're just
who
tip
who
deep
played
in
him in
November.
the who played him in the live action? Was it?
Oh shoot, it was
I wanted to say Vince Vaughn for whatever reason, but
Bill
it's
Pullman.
definitely not him.
No, is it Bill Pullman?
Okay.
I think it's Bill Pullman. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe not. Okay, while Spencer's looking that up. But we're gonna like okay. My point is like Roger Radcliffe. You can do that look, and you can still wear that out. It's a nice look, and people will get it if you're at Disneyland. You know, I mean, you could do like Jack Skellington. You could do like a pinstripe suit and like a bow tie, I guess. But that's still cooler than like. I think I saw someone wear like an actual mask or something, or even did face paint, and I mean like that's kind of taking it to Comic-Con levels.
Hey, really quick, it's Jeff Daniels.
Oh, yeah,
Weird choice.
Yeah, why was I thinking Bill Pullman? What has
I
he
don't
been
know.
in recently?
Okay, but whatever. We're
Anyway,
not.
Yeah, this is not.
Yeah.
Who's that actor?
I mean, I
Um,
remember when like when I first met you,
Mhm.
like I think in our like third conversation or something, you were like, you should come to Disneyland with us, and we're gonna all Dapper bound as.
Yeah,
these
no, because that was an
characters.
idea that Ethan
hold
had
on, wait,
for a
Blake as
while.
who?
It's like, oh, let's do Dapper bounding, but good.
Well,
It was
yeah.
the Captain America characters. Like
Oh,
you,
dude,
I
that
think
would
you
have
wanted
been
to be Howard Stark.
hilarious though, because
And-
then you would have been Steve Rogers, I would have been like Howard Stark, and Spencer could have been Jarvis.
Oh, cool.
You could be the butler. But like, okay,
Yeah.
but okay, he makes you bring up a very good point because we were going to do Dapper bounding or whatever as like a legit thing, like doing it well. Like we just said
Mhm.
earlier, like you could do a workwear Woody outfit or Roger Radcliffe without having.
Or
to
you could
just
even do
bold
what we were
colors.
probably gonna do, and is like just like a super accurate version of a character from
Oh,
a
yeah.
Disney movie that takes place in the 20th century.
Yeah, I mean
could-
that might just
you
be
could
cheating.
essentially just all we'd really be doing is doing the costume, except maybe better than the wardrobe department manage.
Yeah.
Not
well,
to sound
Agents,
cocky or
not Agents of
anything,
Shield.
but-
What's it called? Agent Carter is pretty bad, but the first Avengers. I mean, sorry, the first Avenger, Captain America.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. And Howard Stark's got freaking looks in that one, dude. He's got like a Hollywood jacket with like a sweater vest. He's got like a DB suit. He's just one of the
His-
best dressed characters.
His shirts.
Okay, so let's get
Uh,
back.
Yeah, let's get back. So,
On track.
I mean, again, I don't want to turn into just shitting on Dapper Day because I mean there are a few
It's a
well dressed
fun day,
people.
yeah, I
no,
look
it's
forward
fun,
to
you
it.
know. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because you're just going to Disneyland. You just
Yeah.
So something I would love to bring up here is I would like to mention that the vintage people used to really be into Dapper Day. Like when I
Oh,
first was
yeah,
in it,
and
like
now,
there
like-
would be a huge groups, and they're not in it anymore.
No, we're like the last ones. Like if anything,
we're
they
literally
maybe
the
maybe go to the expo. But
Oh, that's true,
now
yeah.
that it's $10 to get in.
Yeah, I think okay. So again, I don't want to get into drama and calling out people's names, but I think they're a lot more affected by the lack of style than we are. I mean,
Mhm.
like yeah, we can be like, oh no, people aren't dressed to the nines, but again, it doesn't matter. Like we're doing the same thing.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
not really going to like be matching with all the other people. You're going to have fun at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And to wear what
Yeah.
you like to wear.
Exactly. And again, this is why I don't really go and hang out a lot with the vintage community. Not saying that they're bad people, but every time there's Dapper Day, there's always kind of an influx of complaints about the dress.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be nice to have like a group of people who dressed up for Dapper Day, but it's like the vintage community has basically like abandoned it, which is kind of sad because I feel like we could have like saved it a little bit.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like be the change you want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
In Disneyland,
and don't be so closed off about it. Like if someone asks you, like I did when I first got in there, I'm like, "Hey, dude, that's a cool suit. Is it custom? Because I didn't know you could find vintage." And the guy told me, "Nah, dude, you can find this. You just have to know the details." Like that's how I got into it.
I think that's a big problem with a lot of like kind of more, I guess, niche communities, or even like, I hate using this word because it's gross, but like fandoms or whatever, is that like they're kind of really hostile to new people. And vintage might be a little bit less than that because I feel like a lot of vintage people really like to geek out. But still, it's like Dapper Day. It's like there's a lot of people who like look at someone like a guy who's maybe trying, but it's like, oh, his stuff doesn't fit right, or the stuff he's wearing is clearly cheap, and they're like, look at this moron, instead of being like, how can we help this guy do better?
The sad part for that, or the good part, is that sometimes these guys who are just going, and they actually come up and talk to us and be like, wow, dude, your suits looks great, or you guys look really cool, where'd you get it? And Spencer and I are very nice about it, or we'll just be like, thanks, man, it's it's vintage, you can find this stuff.
Yeah,
as opposed to like just being like not even talking to a normie, I guess, is for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if
I guess
if vintage people didn't really go, then like people like me would never have been able to get into it. Like,
yeah,
exactly. And
what happened was I met Benny at Dapper Day. And,
oh, that's cool.
I was like, I want something that's tweed because I liked tweed, and he's like, come over to my place, one of my events, and check stuff out. And I met people
That's
there.
how he reeled you in.
And then I got kind of sucked in to the whole vintage thing.
And that's how we met you.
Yeah.
So that works out. Oh, on the subject of tweed, though, I do want to point out, like, guys are always like, oh, I gotta wear tweed to be dapper. Like when I worked at Banana Republic, and even when I was visiting the bloke, some people said, hey, I need a tweed vest, and I'd be like, you're going to Dapper Day, aren't you? And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, I got you. I know.
My problem was I watched too much Doctor Who at the time.
And that's also a big part of it, too. I mean, who do you think that outfit first started coming out? Like the whole tweed jacket with clip-on suspenders and bow tie, straight up Doctor Who.
England has a different climate than Southern California.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know what I just realized? What? I don't think I saw any Doctor Who's last time, and I normally see like 30 Doctor Who's.
Oh, I think it's because people don't like the way Doctor Who's going. I've been seeing like on Tumblr like, ugh, Doctor Who sucks now, or whatever. Or just I think in general, right? Like before, people were talking about like, oh, Peter Capaldi, but that was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't. I don't watch Doctor Who. I haven't been following the Doctor Who discourse. So
I think it's because when I first got on Tumblr, I followed everyone that followed me or whatever. So naturally, you find these fans.
You find a lot of Doctor Who.
Yeah, but I mean, back to the point I was making. It's like guys will wear tweed to Dapper Day no matter what weather it is.
Yep.
Like it's like come on, like I said, linen. But then again, I was wearing a heavy pinstripe suit this past Dapper Day.
But again, it's like it was hot for like a couple hours, and then
then it cooled down. Yeah, it cooled down a lot afterward. But like in spring, like I wore a Gab suit, and I know Gab is still wool, but it drapes extremely well, and it like has a really good airflow. And I still saw like that one was like pretty hot, right, Spencer?
Oh, it was. It was really hot. Yeah,
that one was sweltering.
Yeah, and yet guys are still wearing their tweed suits and stuff, because that's what they think means to be dapper.
Guys.
I just, I wish people would just learn fabrics more and just kind of buy smart. Like you don't have to wear
smart,
tweed.
Not hard.
Yeah, you don't have to wear tweed when it's hot, like to look good.
That's
like another aspect. So would you say, this might be a little more philosophical, I guess, but would you say like the approach to Dapper Day that people have is kind of reflective of the attitudes of menswear?
Can you elaborate on that? Like, are you talking about the menswear?
When people approach Dapper Day, that's what they think looks good. So therefore,
Mhm.
that's what they tend to wear when they want to look good apart from Dapper Day. And they also or the flip side, dressing up for Dapper Day is fun and is a costume. So if people dress up outside of Dapper Day, those people are also wearing costumes. Because that's how I see it. That's how I see, like, the public view of like menswear, at least in California.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, okay, so I definitely say that the stuff that people wear to Dapper Day is definitely, that's something that they view it as a costume. The chinos and the clip-on suspenders and like a flat cap from Target or whatever.
Right, but you weren't there at the bloke opening. Blake was, and I mean, there were some people, right, Blake, that were kinda in that same vein. Would you say?
Shane?
Well, I mean, besides the two guys that we met, there were. I mean, I distinctly remember there was at least a guy in like a trilby and like a cane, like he went.
Ooh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that guy, but other than that, I didn't really see a lot of like outfits that were way too out there. Everyone seems pretty conservative in the way they were dressed.
Okay.
But, I mean, okay, so there's definitely like a couple different distincts like Dapper Day goers. So there's the guys that we've been talking about. That's like, most of the general populace with just the clip-on suspenders. But then there's guys who like kind of get more into it, but usually they're into like pseudo Victorian stuff. Or like
nice.
suits or whatever. So it's like that's another thing that we could talk about. That's definitely costumey, with the canes and the like.
Right,
the
we did see
watch,
some like
the-
steampunk stuff going on a little bit during Dapper
steampunk
Day.
there's steampunk.
The sad part is I think steampunk's cool. Like, I mean, at least like the. Well, okay, maybe not the
The aesthetic
fashion.
can be, but 90% of steampunk stuff out there is super
I'm talking
lame.
about the machines. I love the machines.
I think I thought it was cool when I was
Okay.
a kid. Before I understood.
Okay, well, okay, we
understood
can all
what the
agree
culture
diesel
was
punk is
like.
where it's at, right? Diesel punk.
Yeah,
is,
diesel punk's cool.
There you go.
Atom punk, diesel punk, that's fun.
Right. But I mean that's like a secondary aspect of it. I never thought of the steampunk community being into Dapper Day.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I
but-
guess people use it again as a kind of an opportunity to dress up and have fun in public, right? Like
Yeah.
outside of like a Renaissance fair or a steampunk convention or Comic-Con, like you're at Disneyland, which is a fairly quote normal thing to do, but you're dressed up. And I think
Yeah.
I think
if you look at it that way, it's kind of a cool, no matter what you wear.
I think
I
my
think
first
if you're
Dapper
having
Day,
fun.
I remember getting weirded out by some guy who had a monocle on, except his monocle was a gear. So
A gear
Oh, boy.
monocle? That's,
yeah, like it had like gear teeth around the outside. I was like, all right.
would that even be
It's
comfortable?
functional.
I don't know how it stuck on, but it did.
Jeez, man. But I mean, hey, all power to you. If that's your thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But basically,
Oh wait, okay. I had a
What?
point to make earlier, but I think I just remembered it. So
Okay.
this is something that I was talking to you about on the day of, and it's like we're
Uh-huh.
talking about. It's like, oh, why don't people do what it was originally intended? Are we the guys that people look at and it's
Oh.
like, look at these dipshits, like
Yeah.
taking this
No.
way too fucking seriously?
no, I
That's
brought
a
that up to
fear
someone
deep
else.
down.
When I was talking to my friend Linda, who's cool Disney mom. All of her kids get dressed up. It's really cool. But she said that like Dapper Day is the only day she doesn't Disney bound to Disneyland because it's like I
Mhm.
want to step out and look good, and I'm like yes, that should be the attitude,
Yeah.
And
Like you said something earlier, and I think you got cut off. What did
yeah,
you say?
Blake, what did you say?
Oh, I just said that that's like an underlying fear of mine. Is
Yeah.
being looked at the wrong way at Dapper Day. Like, I remember, like, just this past Dapper Day, I was walking up from my car all alone, and I'm like, oh, people are looking at me. I'm dressed different, and
Right,
if
and
I'm
it's not
with
even like,
anyone,
oh
I feel
hey,
like I stand out too much.
yeah, it's like, oh hey, they're going to Dapper Day, but they're not wearing a clip-on suspenders and a bow tie. These guys are definitely nerds because they really
Yeah.
like this thing,
Ah,
you know. And that's really unfortunate because that will only hammer in the fact that dressing up is a costume,
Yeah.
Because the way I see it is like, oh, I know how ridiculous my bow tie and colored shirt look, but this is not who I am. And then you see us walking out as
costume.
us, wearing our 3-piece tailored suits or whatever, and like that's us on like a normal day, and like okay, those guys live and breathe clothes. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely like something to consider because I mean we probably get that on a regular basis, right? Like when you like Spencer, you work at Men's Warehouse. Have we officially said that on this?
I think we said it last episode.
I think
here's
the pilot
what I'm
we
call
said
it.
we don't.
What? I think in the pilot we don't.
Yeah.
Here's the fun joke name that I came up with for it.
Yeah.
Dude Depository.
Okay. Well,
Instead of Men's Warehouse. So I got the joke out there. Let's continue.
Okay. But Spencer works at Men's Warehouse, and I can't speak for his workers or his coworkers, but I can assume that when they get off work, they change into street clothes or whatever. Like they don't live and breathe the menswear like we do.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, also I don't wear a 3-piece suit just when I'm going to class or going to Starbucks or whatever. But
neither do I.
Okay, yeah, but I mean I get the point you're making. It's like they kind of just wear like I'm not talking shit on my coworkers. They're very nice people. A lot of them are wearing what they wear to work because it is the dress code, not necessarily because they enjoy it. And over the course of working at Men's Warehouse, many of them come to enjoy it and develop their own personal style. But I go in and I'm like, I'm wearing this because I like it. And also I
love it.
I love it. And I'm also just getting paid for it. So that's just a bonus. Actually, wait, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't work there for free just for the opportunity to dress up. Don't get it twisted. So,
I mean, it's the same thing, I mean, I've gotten that kind of comments, throughout my whole life. Oh, Ethan, what do you do? Why do you have to dress up like that? I'm like, because I fucking love wearing this stuff, man. Like, I wouldn't wear it if I wasn't comfortable with it, and if I didn't enjoy it. And I think we say that in our presentation, which we can close out with later in a little bit. But yeah, that's one of my big fears about Dapper Day. Like, soon we're gonna be the only people there in classic menswear.
And it's okay,
or even good menswear.
We should talk about the fact that it's like it. Maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough, but it seemed like there were less people dressing up this year than there normally are.
I think I did notice that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, maybe the expo's definitely getting bigger, so maybe everyone's just going to the expo.
I think it's also that it's like almost midterm season for some people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's November. I'm sure, we'll see this upcoming spring one. Again, for those of you who don't know, Dapper Day is twice a year, once in spring, once in fall, winter-ish. So they have two. And I think last time it was still pretty packed. So, it just might be the luck of the draw this time, But the expo would seem to be pretty cool. I mean...
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people... Oh, we did see this one guy. Apparently, I found him on Instagram. I forgot his name already. But he was a drummer, I think, for the band. And he was, like, in a dope 40s
that was
Gab
cool.
suit.
Yeah,
he even had, like, the look. Like, he was, just, like, this jawline, chiseled white guy with, like, cool...
Nice.
He's got, like, that kind of, like, messy, like, 40s, like, because he's drumming.
He kind of looked like a 50s mobster, which was a cool look.
Yeah, he kind of got monochromatic because he had it was like a brown suit with like a tan shirt and like an orange tie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember seeing this guy. Was I there?
He was literally just at the expo. He was probably on stage for much of it.
He did go to Benny's for like a little bit, and even the guy next to him.
And that was before you got there.
Yeah, it could have been before, but there was a guy there who his friend, who was he was modern, but he was wearing like a 3-piece pinstripe suit. Thought that was pretty cool. And of course, there's the guys that we met. There was Hector, Giuliano, which you can see in the blog post.
And it's like we should talk about. We're not be like, oh, why isn't everyone wearing vintage? Because they weren't, but they still look great.
Yeah. No, yeah,
your friend over at Brooks Brothers looked pretty good, and he wasn't wearing anything new or old, I should say.
Right. Yeah. Sean looks good. He had like a really cool green plaid patch pocket jacket. Yeah. Super nice guy. He gave me metal buttons. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do with them yet because I don't really wear metal buttons, but they're cool to have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah. So I don't. Yeah, like Spencer says, I don't think we should focus on the bad, but because there were guys who did look good, and you know, if we keep inviting these guys, it doesn't really matter because we all just end up hanging out anyway, and we just we have fun.
Yeah, we like to have fun.
We like
and it's like it's like if Dapper Day is an excuse for like people to go out to Disneyland in a group and like have fun, yeah, it's cool. It's, you know, it's like I don't think we're saying it's like don't go to Dapper Day unless you like unless you're putting in maximum effort. We're just saying it's like, wouldn't it be nice if this fun day people dressed better?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a very, very small aspect of it because again, we want everyone to have fun. You know, like don't go to Dapper Day thinking that you have to wear a suit and then you're gonna be uncomfortable. Because if that's the case, then you might as well just go in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, we're not assholes. We promise.
Yeah, we just play one on TV.
Right. I will say though that I have stopped doing street style pictures because for two reasons basically. I mean, if you've been reading the blog for like the past 3 years, I used to document as much street style and, you know, street fashion or whatever people were wearing as much as I could. But I mean, I have been a little discouraged that there hasn't been a lot of good stuff. You know, it's very repetitive, for the most part. Oh, Jesus! I just put like a whole marker in my hands. Okay.
Okay.
But anyway. But I mean, now we kind of just focus on like actual friends that we meet now, and that's still street style, and it's again, hanging out with like-minded guys is enough for me. You know, as long as we've got our own stuff and we're all having fun, that's the important part.
Yeah.
You bet.
Cool. I think that's a good place to stop right there. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm really glad that Blake was able to join us.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Quiet me.
hopefully he'll be on in the next one. You know, moving forward and you know, we'll have more topics in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Housekeeping.
Yep, I was about to say.
Any plugs?
I don't
Spencer?
have any specific plugs except for this podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Just kidding.
That's YouTube.
But do Yep, that's sure is. Thanks for explaining my joke. Please do subscribe and please leave a rating, and we'll probably read some of the ratings.
Yeah. You can make them funny or whatever.
Yeah, make them funny. This is your opportunity to make us say things, although we can act with discretion and refuse to say things if we want to. So
right.
We're not your damn slaves.
If you guys have any questions that you guys want us to address, you can email us at styleanddirection. All the full forms of those words. There's no shortcuts there. styleanddirection@gmail.com. There's also an Instagram at styleanddirection. You can also find us individually on Instagram. Ethan M. Wong.
Spencer DSO.
And
Blake
Buell. You probably can't spell that, so just find me on Ethan's Instagram.
Yeah, I tag him.
Like,
or you can
probably
find my
in the
tagged
episode description.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably put it there. And you guys can reach out to us. You guys can ask us questions, whether you want us to answer it on the air or not, you know. And we also want to ask you guys to join the Street Expressa community. That's the name of the blog. If you've made it this far and you didn't know what the heck the blog was that I was talking about, it's Street Expressa. You can find it on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's still, it's slowly growing. We get, 1 or 2 requests every day. And it's a great place to, hang out, talk clothing, post pictures, ask questions. Again, I ask questions. We all do it and get to know other.
We all do it. There's nothing
guys.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you learn. We did do a presentation on vintage menswear that will be on YouTube, hopefully by the same time this episode airs, or maybe a little shortly afterward.
Do you think we're going to be putting the audio for? Okay, so it's like here's our eternal conundrum. We are doing an audio podcast about a visual art form, and for our presentation, we had heavy use of a PowerPoint presentation. So
no, it's gonna be like a video. So it's gonna
but do you think we're gonna put the audio on here, or are we just gonna be like it's not gonna work unless you can see the?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's just because
Okay,
I literally
yeah.
like here. If you look here, like this, you're not looking at anything.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, it's basically a clean version of this podcast. We
And
literally
I
we
say
can't cuss,
Frankenstein
and-
joke that kills.
Yeah, and I say I want to marry
Just
pants
like
at some
Frankenstein's
point.
monster.
So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, just leave us a rating, subscribe wherever you find your podcast.
We cannot overstate how important new like ratings and stuff like that. are
Right,
to
it
new
helps
podcasts.
more people find the podcast.
Yeah.
Other than like our mutual friend list that we just share this stuff to. So
Yeah, the same like 20 people listening to this.
right, exactly. In which, hey, no, there's nothing wrong with that because we love our friends. So
Uh-huh.
all right. So did we figure out a sign off yet? Stay
Um,
stylish.
Uh,
Quite stylish.
Clay stylish.
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, how does Frasier end? Is it just tossed salad and scrambled eggs?
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. They're calling again.
Here's how we're gonna end it, and that's Seinfeld. Goodbye.
Clay nice, everyone.
Play nice. Stay stylish is pretty good. Let's go with that one.
Okay, all right, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode. Stay stylish.
Stay stylish.
Stay stylish.
All right, I'm cutting it
Okay.
there. All right, stop recording.